Welcome to this guide of Nurburgring. This is the third race in the Nations Cup on Gran Turismo 7. I think it's the GT track. We are in the Group 3 cars. We've got 20 laps. We've got 2 pit stops. Slipstream is real. We've got a tyre wear rate of times 5. And fuel consumption of times 2. I don't think fuel will be a problem. And we are on the racing mediums, intermediates and wet tyres. We're just going to look at the fastest lap available by whoever D-Chafe is, or D-Chaff, I don't know how to say his name, D-Chafe. Let's have a little look at the lap itself. Okay, so we're going into the first corner. We're just braking just after that grass at the last marshal on the left-hand side. And going into the first corner, first gear, we're dropping just below 40 miles an hour, and then into second, just under 40 miles an hour, into second, not going all the way to the right hand side of the track, but keeping it close on the apex, into third gear, and then we're dropping right back down to first gear, hugging the apex on the left hand side, and then really cutting over the track for that exit there, and cutting that corner on the first part, and then on the exit of that turn you are really going over the white line onto the edge of the track, as you can see. Just try and hit that. You see where they're going off the track just before that green bit of on the off track. We're up into third gear for the next corner, dropping it to first, second out of this one. These are all quite challenging corners. They're quite long and slow sort of thing, and they're a bit tighter than they seem. So you really have to gauge where you are putting the pedal back down to get out of these, to exit these corners. But yeah, we're into fifth gear, and as the road widens on the right hand side, you want to be getting your brakes on where the grass sort of turns out there. You want to get your tyres over the left-hand side of the track, just to widen the track as much as possible here. And then we're braking down into first gear, little pump of the power on the middle of the sort of apex, and then we're coming out. Out in second, you want to be in third gear by the end of that, the rumble strips on the left, and then we're in fourth gear. Seemingly flooring it through this corner, which is pretty challenging to do. You really have to get on the right hand side of the track before the corner to give you enough rotation to get around that left hand corner. And then here we're braking just after the little bridge, and there's I think it's the 150 meter board, but it does say 100, and it's just up to the right hand side. And we want to brake there really. Okay, so we're down into second gear, just above 70 miles an hour, pouring it out there a little bit, and then just a little bit of brakes for the next corner for the right hander. Down into second, a little bit of brakes, out in third. There's not really much to say there, but then we're just braking before the chicane, before the 100 meter board on the right hand side. And then the chicane coming up is quite challenging, actually. It's quite a difficult corner. You really have to cut it, get the whole car across those, and your second gear over that at about 60 miles an hour. And you brake in a few car lengths just before the cone that's on the right-hand side, on the pit, and clipping that apex quite late. So now we'll just have a little look, and we'll give it a go. Their lap ended at 1:54. We're going for the same car because it seems to be sort of the meta, I think, in terms of the fastest cars. The other cars, there's only 4 cars to choose from really, but it does seem that the 911 is the car to go for. But yeah, going into my laps, we started off with a pretty measly 2:04. I did think the proper Nurburgring is the challenge for me, but seemingly this track is quite difficult, I'd say, in these cars. After racing the challenging second round of the Nations Cup with the Red Bull the Red Bull anniversary cars, which are horrendously quick on a really tight track, to then move to the Group 3 cars it feels quite slow. I'm just going to say it feels quite slow, and the track's incredibly wide, so it's a much different challenge than the Nurburgring. I did try driving this without the Ghost to begin with, just to see where I landed with my time. Like I say, I ended up being about 10 seconds over, which I must say I was not very happy with. But after a little while, I mean, the second attempt, sorry, I did bring that down to 201. But really finding the chicane quite difficult, and that's where if I did it well, I was gaining quite a lot of time actually. So I really think that's one of the areas on this track that you're going to need to try and perfect for the actual race. But again, like I say, this track's quite windy. It's quite a challenging one to get to grips with, but eventually I did post a 158, and for now I'm quite pleased with that, to be fair. So let's just have a quick look at that lap and have a little see if there's anywhere where I feel like I can improve. I did have the Ghost on now. Braking a little bit too early, staying on the inside there, but I just about matched the faster car in speed eventually. Still though, finding this track pretty challenging, just to get your lines right, I think, because it is so wide and these turns are quite long. It feels quite difficult to get this right, but just getting that corner cut a little bit better this time. Catching up here, I was doing worse. But we just clipped the edge of the track on the right there and gain a few tenths, but then drop them again quite quickly. I think this one's really about getting your exits right on this track. Again, I'm not flooring it through there like the faster car. Finding it quite challenging to find where that line is to keep your foot on the pedal for that corner. Getting better with these later corners in the track. A bit slower this time though, even than my previous time. I think, like I said earlier, the chicane is really where you're going to gain and lose time, and if you get the chicane right, you'll get a quick time basically. The Ghost basically caught up with me, but I managed to get half a second out of the chicane. The main difficulties on this track are really going to be getting that last chicane right, and it's going to be getting your exits right from the corners. It is a challenge, but let's see how we go on Wednesday. Thanks for watching, and let me know what your times are like, I guess. I don't know. Good luck.